Yorkshire has a large problem with bowel cancer. Over 3,500 people are diagnosed with the condition every year. And that means, sadly, over 1,300 people die in Yorkshire of bowel cancer every year.
The main clinical problem is that despite treatment with surgery and chemotherapy, we were seeing that some patients with bowel cancer, unfortunately, were coming back with incurable disease months to years later. What we know is that the treatment for this type of bowel cancer hasn't really had any advancement in nearly 20 years. The Foxtrot-1 trial was the first trial in bowel cancer to look at whether giving chemotherapy before surgery in bowel cancer would lead to improvements. We know that the Foxtrot-1 trial mainly recruited patients who were younger and had no other medical problems, but we know that the average age of bowel cancer is 70. And what we want to find out in the new trials is, can we see the same benefits by giving chemotherapy ahead of surgery in older patients or those with other medical problems? The other main clinical question we're looking at in these new trials is, can we further increase the cure rate in younger patients by giving them more intensive chemotherapy to try and cause more shrinkage and increase the cure rate again? So we're really wanting to personalise treatment as well as increase the cure rate.
What I had was surgery followed by chemotherapy. And what Foxtrot represents is a major advance in the approach to bowel cancer treatment. And I think when I reflect on that, if I'd have been diagnosed and Foxtrot had been around when I was diagnosed, I think that might have helped me.
We've already opened the trial at 2 Yorkshire sites, here in Leeds and in Huddersfield, but we're planning to open in hospital sites all across Yorkshire.
When patients take part in a clinical trial, there's evidence that they have better outcomes overall, possibly because they're being seen at research-intensive hospitals with more observations and more tests.
Not only was this a safe approach, but also that it had benefits for patients, which meant fewer complications following surgery and less chance of the cancer recurring, which as a cancer patient is always your worst fear.
At Yorkshire Cancer Research, we want to save over 2,000 lives every year. One of the ways we can do that is by doing research and clinical trials right here in Yorkshire, right now, that will impact people here and now. So we're very, very keen and very excited to be able to fund large-scale clinical trials right here in Yorkshire.